Good morning. So it's almost 7:15 in the morning. I select a recovery run for today. Very easy run. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to run or I just gonna walk. I don't know. It's I done procedure on my toes, on both feet, and say it's been almost 2 weeks ago, and I didn't run. I was not allowed to run. The first week I can't even wear shoes. So yesterday I finally did work out yesterday with the kettlebell, but was barefoot. And my doctor say if my feet feel okay, I can start. It depends on the pain, really. So I'm gonna start to run today. I will see if I need to slow down and walk. I will walk, or if I need to stop altogether, then I will do that. Yeah, I'm afraid. My feet are sore. But anyways, I'm glad I done it now because it's take time to heal. And as soon as I really heal, I start to pushing because Lisbon is coming. Okay, let's move. I'm my legs are here very sore from yesterday. Oh man.
Welcome back, guys. Here we are in beautiful Costa Rica. We are in the Santa Maria sector of Rincon de la Vieja National Park here in northern Costa Rica. Today we have workout number 12. We're going to start out nice and easy, recovery run, and then we're going to finish this up with a couple of strides. Let's do it, guys. All right, so right off the bat, I want to make sure that we settle down into recovery intensity. So guys, we've talked about this plenty of times up to this point. Recovery is designed for rest. This is where we get the rest component of that stress and rest equation. It equals progress and it equals success. So we're going to focus in just gentle its way up here to the top and cracking through. If we come over here, guys, this is just to give us a little bit of a visual. What we can see is the mineral content in this water is so high that it completely scorches and bleaches out the earth around it. So all of this area, there's nothing growing in this small little area where this comes up, and that's because the mineral content, the acidity, or basic value, that pH of the water, is disrupted. That smell is so strong. Okay, we'll come back over here. We've got a few more up top. We're gonna check these out. And then we'll oh jeez. Okay, here we go, guys. Come check this one out. This bubbling mud that we've got down in here. Right down there, guys. Right down below us, that sulfuric gas is bubbling up, coming up through the surface, the crust of the earth, and out towards us in this atmosphere that we all share. A situation like that, guys, makes you so grateful for just the simple balance of oxygen and nitrogen, small bits of carbon dioxide and other trace gases that we find in the air. When you get up close, right up in that thing's business, and you smell exactly what's coming out of it, man, it really puts into perspective the idea of having clean air. Alright, so we'll continue along. Light intensity. We're going to cruise back down the same way that we came and just continue along on this easy recovery run. Find that rhythm in your breathing. Oh, alright. Okay, so for the first time in about 5 minutes, I've got no trepidation and fully filling up my lungs with beautiful, fragrant, free air. I promised we were going to cruise back down onto that main trail, and we are going to get those strides in. Remember, the purpose of those strides, the reason we do those strides is to teach our body to run fast. You can't run fast if you don't practice running fast. Here we go. Literally crawling out of the jungle, guys. Let's work our way back up. These are going to be just 20 seconds long, though, guys. The nice thing about these, we're not going to overly stress our system or our structures so that we're able to come back and by tomorrow or the next time we see each other, boom, we're ready to go. Hit hard again. Alright, so maintaining that bites you. But that's why the Ticos always wear those knee-high rubber boots. Effective against mud, but more importantly, effective against venomous snakes. Here we go, let's cruise on down here. Oh, this is incredible. This beautiful Morphos waterfall here in the Santa Maria sector of Rincon de la Vieja National Park. Morphos, guys, is the name of that butterfly, those big brown butterflies with the blue wings. Alright, let's cruise out here so we can see it. Hop along these rocks. Guys, there's one right there. Let's see if he comes back. Another one of those Morphos butterflies. Alright, let's cruise on out here. Taking these views. Absolutely stunning. Guys, thank you so much for making it all the way to the end here. This recovery run. We just kept things nice and easy, finishing up with those strides there at the end, teaching our body to run fast. I'm your trainer, Tommy Rose, coming from Morphos Catarata here in Costa Rica. I'll see you guys soon.
Okay, that was a very nice recovery run. 2.82. I will see my toes when I'm gonna take off my shoes. It's sensitive, yeah. Anyway, let's have a nice day. Let's go to work. Yeah, I have so much things to do.